Hey there friends on YouTube, my name is Jason, sometimes known as the JTL, painfully honest tech. Tech so honest it hurts. Today we talk about the Galaxy Z Fold 5. This thing. The Fold 5, the Z Fold Five, as they say in French. But today's video is sponsored by Careerist. There'll be more information still yet to come in the video. Yeah, a little review for you. Gonna talk about it. Let's get it all buffed up so it's nice and pretty looking, okay? Yeah, we'll do that. So, here's how we do these videos. We go over screen, we go over camera, we go over build quality, we go over user experience, we go over battery life, because those are the things that matter in the smartphone when you're trying to buy a smartphone. This is my third cup of coffee, 16 ounce triple shot! Triple shot! Triple shot! Triple shot! Triple shot! Espresso in my latte. Probably should have stopped at 2. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's 1:22 in the afternoon. You know, sometimes you just got to do it though. So first off, let's go ahead and talk about the build quality of this guy. We all know what this is all about. It's all about the foldy woldies and whether or not it's better than it was or not. I mean, let's be honest. Samsung Galaxy Fold 5. So there have been 4 other editions of the Galaxy Fold since its inception, and it has gotten better with each passing year or so, and that's cool. I'm glad that it has. It needed to, and I wasn't planning on getting the Galaxy Fold 5, but I did, because I was super curious. After using the Pixel Fold, I wanted to go back and grab the Galaxy Fold 5 to see what this screen was like, and this aspect ratio, what was it like? I'm here to say it's a mixed bag. Now, don't get me wrong, the Galaxy Fold 5 is a very good phone. It's fast, it does all the things, it even has S Pen support. This is my S Pen. I got it with the Z Fold 4. I like it. I got this for free for ordering from Samsung. Why do I have such a big S Pen? Genetics, I guess. But, you know, not everybody is so well endowed with S Pen because it doesn't come with the phone. Now, you buy the Galaxy the Galaxy S23 and you get an S Pen, right? It used to be the Galaxy Note, you know how it is. The Galaxy S23 Ultra. That phone is like $12.99 regular price. And you get the S Pen. This is a $1,900 phone. And you get no S Pen. They could at least just put it in the box. But no, you gotta buy a case that has the S Pen, and it's $99. So this is really so is it $17.99, and then another $100 makes it $18.99. It's $100 for Samsung's OEM S Pen case, which, I don't know, man. People used to complain about how expensive Apple's OEM cases were, but let me tell you, $99 for a case is sort of like, well, you can obviously pay $1,800 for a phone, so why not another $100? Well, and then another $100 on, I don't know, some accessories, and we'll make it an even $2,000. How about that? Lost my S Pen. Anyway, it bothers me. Build quality otherwise is very nice. Better than the Fold 4. I'm reading my notes here. Biggest thing this year is there is no thigh gap in the folding. Used to be like a quarter or so inch gap there. This year, no gap, and that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. I'm glad that that's gone, because that was, I mean, it was imperfect. And that's sort of the thing with the Galaxy Fold devices, is that every year there has been like an imperfection of the device that has gone away, right? If it's getting better and better, shouldn't it be best, like as good as it can be? Maybe they're getting there. Maybe that's why they haven't changed the design. Maybe that's why they didn't do much of anything to this phone besides upgrade the internal chip and that kind of thing. I don't know. These screens on all the foldables that I've used all get very, very fingerprinty with very little use. And that, I don't know, it doesn't happen on other phones. This is Gorilla Glass Victus 2. Victus 2 scratches. It scratched my Pixel Fold. This is scratched in 2 places. Less than 2 weeks, and it's all scratched up. Scratches on an expensive phone, not cool. One thing I do want to say about the screen, and I feel like this is an important issue, is that this cover screen is unusable for anyone my size or bigger, I would guess. I'm 5'11" ish, 5'11". I might have shrunk, I'm old, but Trying to do anything on this screen, I don't care what you say, is just super annoying. Just super annoying. So you bring this up, and I mean, look how small that text is. Look how small those, I mean, it's like, Jason. Now's a great time to let you know about today's sponsor. Are you a tech enthusiast pining for the latest and greatest gadgets? Trust me, I know high quality products come with a hefty price tag. We're all looking for a way to make more cash. Maybe you're just looking to get into a job that's more your style or fits your needs, whether it's from home or somewhere else. Maybe you want to make more money, or you just want to future-proof yourself from the AI overlords making your current job obsolete. There's an ideal job in this world that will never be replaced by artificial intelligence. That's a software tester. Software engineers make sure websites and mobile apps work as they're expected. They search for errors and bugs and report them to the dev team. All tech companies require QA engineers to prevent issues and guarantee high standard outcomes. No experience required. No need to learn coding or programming. Good salaries, remote work options. If you want to learn all the skills fast and get a good paying job in tech, go to one of the top rated online boot camps in the US as per Course Report, Careerist. Careerist has successfully placed their graduates in over 1,000 companies across 40 states, earning salaries between $65,000 and $100,000. What sets Careerist apart is their job application service. As a student, you'll gain access to a streamlined job search system, speeding up your application process by up to 5 times. If you follow the job search instructions provided by Careerist, you could be landing a tech job within 2 to 4 months. For all my painfully honest tech subscribers, click the link in the description below to find out more about all of Careerist's QA offerings, and you'll get a 10% discount on any course of your choice. Just click that link down below to find out more. And you may be saying to yourself, this guy's an Apple thief, or this guy's being too hard on the phone. That's your opinion, that's fine, but let me tell you that this is $1,800, and for those of you who think like, oh, well, I'll trade in last year's phone for this year's phone, and it'll be like $900. No. That's not how math works. You already paid for the other phone, and you're still paying for the other phone. You're not getting like free phone. It's easier to afford, which is what Samsung wants. Samsung wants you to upgrade every year so that they can pad their stats in terms of phones sold, and then once they have that number, they don't care. They want to be able to tell their stockholders, we sold X number of phones, even if they enticed you into it by saying, give us last year's phone, which means they get to sell that phone and make money. Let's just cool it. It's an expensive phone. I'm going to judge it harshly. And for those of you who are going to say, well, you better do that to the iPhone, of course I will, because that's what I do. It's painfully honest tech. Okay? I like that they've sort of flattened out the stainless steely rails here. It's a good looking phone all around. Honestly, they've kept this Phantom Black from a couple of years ago. I really like this black. I wish that, I don't know, maybe I wish that the screens could be matte, because this picks up no fingerprints whatsoever. No fingerprints whatsoever. Although we've lost the thigh gap, we still have the crease, but it's not as pronounced as it used to be. Not as pronounced. Pronounced Leonard Skinnerd. Look it up. My overall score for build quality, a 4. I'll give it a 4. They did get rid of the gap. They did minimize to some extent the crease. And overall, it is a very solidly built phone that bespeaks quality. Okay, so it's a very nice phone, as it should be. Now let's go on to talk about the screens. These screens are pretty nice. I mean, I guess the only thing I could say is on this side, you can't use the S Pen, but I don't know, maybe they'll change that. Put that digitizer under there and we'll be able to do it. I guess I could also say that without a case on, this thing, I mean, there's no place to gain purchase. The rounded edges of last year's phone at least gave us a little bit better. If you got a little bit of a fingernail, you can get in there. Other than that, bright, beautiful, 120 hertz, or like an adaptive refresh rate up to 120 hertz. I mean, Samsung makes some of the best screens in the world, which is why so many companies buy them. Okay? If you buy this phone, you will not be left wanting for the screen. It's brighter this year than it was last year. 1550 nits, I believe, on the inside screen, so it's a little bit easier to see outside. People go outside and try and use their phones. I don't know. I usually don't go outside. I'm here in my underground lair doing this. This is my life, people. This is my life. It's my life. Sorry. Pull it together, kid. Pull it together. Now it's cold. Other than those things, I mean, this is a sort of problem about talking about this phone this year, is that, I mean, Samsung really didn't change anything about the phone significantly. And so, screen was great last year. It's great this year, a little bit brighter. So that's cool. Overall screen score, 5, I guess. Overall screen score, 5. Yeah, that sounds about right. Next up, we talk about the camera. And honestly, I haven't gone out and done a lot with the camera, but I did go out last night, and I took a picture of the supermoon. The cameras are not bad by any stretch. They're very good cameras, and they get better every year. However, once again, like with the S Pen, you don't get the best cameras that Samsung makes with this phone. If you're talking about Samsung's most expensive phone, if you are not getting the best cameras they have available to them, then this is not their best phone. So it shouldn't be their most expensive. This is what I'm talking about. If you're paying this much money for a phone, you want the best that the phone has to offer. You don't want the little praying mantis leg of an S Pen. You want something like this. Okay, not for an extra $99. You want the best cameras, okay? And you're not getting it with this. That is bothersome to me when asking this much money. Some of you are probably saying, Jason, well, you didn't say this when you talked about the Pixel Fold. And the Pixel Fold hasn't had 5 generations to dial in all these little things and figure out how to do all this stuff. So, yeah, I gave the Pixel Fold a little bit of a pass. But this one, I mean, Generation 5, I want all the best stuff. And you should too, honestly. And that segues nicely into user experience, which on one hand is better than it has been. Honestly, the hinge is very smooth. By this time with the Fold 4, I had some creaking and some crackling and that kind of thing. Never broke, but it always made me a little bit nervous. But this is just very smooth, which is nice. And like I said, the user experience is better with that gap closed. You can't get stuff in there. You can't crack your screen by going to the beach or any of that kind of stuff. Foldables have weird challenges when you actually use them as your daily phone. One of which being the fact that when this is closed, which is how you're going to carry it, this is a long and thick boy. This is a long phone, and it's a thick phone. There's no easy way to put these in your gym shorts and go out for a walk or to the gym or anything like that. This thing will pull your gym shorts down, so you have to tie them, and then when you have to go to the bathroom, you have to untie them, and then you forget to tie them, and this thing pulls your gym shorts down. It's thick, it's heavy, and that's just how it's going to be. It's a lot of phone, I guess. That is something to take into account. One thing that I don't like about the aspect ratio of this guy, as opposed to the Pixel Fold, is this opens in kind of portrait mode, right? But in order to get the best experience with the screen, I feel like you have to put it in landscape mode. And yeah, because this is thinner than this. It's a weird aspect ratio, and it's weird that you have to turn it in order to get the best experience. This seems like a much less practical example of how to design this phone now that I've used the Pixel Fold. Otherwise, in usage, One UI has come a long way. It comes a little bit further down the line, a little bit every year. I don't like Samsung's stock One UI icons. They just, I don't know. I don't like them, okay? I just don't like them. I know you can change them, but I'm just going to say I don't like the icons. I would change them, but I figured for experience and testing purposes, it would be best if I left them this way. I don't like what they put on the front of the thing. I don't like how they order it. Here's Samsung Notes, but you don't have an S Pen unless you spend money to get an S Pen. I mean, I know you can take notes with Samsung Notes, but does anybody use Samsung Notes? Let me know down in the comments. I tried a couple of times and they were not. It's just not very good. And they offer Microsoft, okay? They like Microsoft Notes. You can get that, and that's 100 times better. OneNote is 100 times better than the Samsung Notes. So maybe Samsung shouldn't have Notes. Maybe Samsung shouldn't have any Samsung apps and just go with Google. But Samsung does Samsung, so they're going to Samsung. In daily use, it is a very smooth operating system. It does offer some stuff that isn't offered in other versions of Android. If you want to have a little bit more flair to your Android experience, this might be the thing for you. Overall score for user experience, again, I can't take a lot off, but I still want to take something off. And because there are just like these weird little foibles about the phone. I don't like the thin screen. I never did. And I don't like the experience of using this, the inside screen in all kinds of different ways. I'm going to give it a 4. Okay, 4. That's unfair. Finally, battery life. Now, battery life is what really killed the Pixel Fold. Battery life on this, however, has been perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. It's not like the best battery life that I've ever had on a smartphone, but considering, you know, the girth of this thing and the width of the inner screen and all that, it is very good battery life. I have nothing to complain about. It was good out of the box, and it's, you know, it's been solid. I've been using it now for, I've been opening and closing it and doing all kinds of stuff and using it. I didn't charge it overnight, and I'm down to 58%, and I know I could get through the day with that, so I've got no problem with the battery life. I'll give the battery life 5. I don't know what I didn't do the S23 this year, so I don't know what his battery life is, but this is perfectly fine. A day plus, which is about all you could hope for, I would guess. Conclusion time. What do I think about this? What is my final score? This is not a contender to replace your slab phone at this point. If you're a regular person who just wants a phone and is looking at this and saying, $1,800, what does it do that makes it that much money, you might ask? And I'll say, not as much as the slab phone that is actually the flagship of the Samsung line. The S23 Ultra has an S Pen. It has the best cameras. This guy has like a weird under-the-screen camera. It does have nice flexibility in the cameras. It does take nice photos. It does do nice video, but it doesn't have the best cameras that Samsung has to offer. Battery life is good. User experience is a mixed bag, and it should be better at this point. 5 versions in. Samsung should have the hardware and the software totally figured out by this time. This phone, barring those few changes that we discussed, hasn't changed. It's the same phone with some slight upgrades, and that makes it good enough, but not great. In the end, the score I am giving is a 4. A 4 out of 5. I feel like that's fair. Take a half point off for the fact that it does have these shortcomings that we've discussed. Take a half point off for the fact that it's not too different from the previous version of the phone. If you have the Fold 3, you might want to think of upgrading to this, because this is a better version of than the 4 was, and the 3 was still early days-ish. You'll get a better phone and probably a better experience with this. Can I recommend this phone to anyone? No. Even though it's a 4 out of 5, I would not recommend that anyone get this phone unless they were like, I just gotta have it. Everybody's got the ability to make a choice. I can't say go out and get it though, because it's not everything it should be yet, and if it's $1,800, it has to be as good as it could possibly be, and this just isn't. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Thanks again to Careerist for sponsoring this video. Go check them out down in the description below. If you like this shirt, go hit that link to my Amazon store where I have designed t-shirts all my own. You can also get Painfully Honest Tech merch down in the carousel below. You can subscribe to this channel, and that would be awesome. You could like the video, you could share it with your friends. More exciting and discombobulated videos like this one come at least once or twice a week, plus the Painfully Honest Tech podcast. This week's guest, the one, the only, Mr. Mobile Michael Fisher. Which, I have a great talk with him about what his thoughts are on foldables, so you can check that out. I'll list the podcast playlist here at the end and down in the description. Once again, thanks so much for being here. My name is Jason, sometimes known as the JTL. This is Painfully Honest Tech. Tech so honest it hurts. Until the next time, people, I'm out.